Hello everybody, welcome to the first video for Green Man Archery. It's something I see a lot of on internet forums. The question is, what kind of glue should I use on my broadheads or field points, on my wood arrows in particular? And traditionally people use hot melt glue. It's a good glue, works good. I decided not to use it. Between juggling the hot point, the pliers, the flame, the molten glue, and I live in Southern California, I'm usually wearing shorts, that molten glue just scares the heck out of me. I decided to go with epoxy, and epoxy's been used for a long time by West Coast fishing rod builders for stand-up big game rods for tip tops, and it works out really good. It's a very secure glue, and if the tip top is broken, the tip can be removed with heat. And the same thing goes with field points and broadheads on wood arrows. So I'm going to go through real quick on how to do that, some of the things to look at, and also show how easy it is to get an epoxy tip off. Some people say that, oh boy, once you glue that stuff on with epoxy, you'll never get it off. Well, I found that not to be the case, and I'm going to show you too. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and mix up our epoxy here. And this is a 30-minute epoxy that I get at the local hobby store. I used to use a 12-minute, but I can't find it anymore, and I'm pretty sure they discontinued making it. This stuff works pretty good. It's got a little bit longer working time than the 12-minute stuff had, but it's also a longer time to cure too. This is 24 hours for a complete cure. So you need to plan a little bit ahead when you're doing this. You won't be able to use the arrows right away. That is one advantage of hot melt. Right after the tip is cooled off, either by air cooling or in a cup of water or something like that, then you can go ahead and use that. This takes a little bit of planning. Now, I'm mixing this on a doubled over piece of aluminum foil. It's real handy. It's a good surface to work on. Doesn't impart any impurities or anything to the epoxy, and when I'm done I can just throw it away. So use a popsicle stick on this, get it mixed up real good. Now, the epoxy is a 50-50 mix between the hardener and the resin, and it's pretty forgiving. You don't need to use a digital scale or anything like that to make sure you get the right amount. So grab an arrow. These are already tapered, obviously, and the tips are already cleaned. We're going to smear some glue on the tip there. Grab the tip, put it on. I'll spin it around a little bit to distribute the glue, seat it with my fingers, and then I also have this wooden block to give it a little bit stronger seat. Spin it, I can see it's on there straight. Paper towel to clean off the excess. We are done. How about that? So I'll do a couple more here in case you missed some part of that. And it's easier to put on too much glue and take off the excess than it is to not use enough and then have your tip fall off. That's never a good thing. And that can happen with any glue that you use. I'll spin that around, seat it, punch it on, spin it, wipe it, done. That's a good tip. Once that glue cures, chances of it coming off are pretty slim. I have very, very few arrows come back to me where the people say, hey, my arrow tips all came off. That's something that as a custom arrow builder I do not like to hear. I pretty much guarantee that somebody's going to be happy, and when tips come off in the target, nobody's happy, me or the customer. So there we go. Now, I also mentioned that I would show how easy it is to get a tip off, so I'm going to wipe off my popsicle stick here. I recycle those, so I use them again. Put that aside, and I've got a little alcohol burner. Get this thing going. Now, this doesn't have a really hot flame. It's certainly nothing like you'd see in a propane torch or over a gas stove or anything like that. So it's going to take a little bit longer. But we'll just start heating this up. And it's going to pop right off. Now, some people have said that, oh boy, if you use epoxy, you're going to have to heat that tip up so much that it's going to change the temper on the broadhead or melt the tip or something horrible like that. I just haven't seen that to be the case. I've changed tips all the time, and no problems. And again, this is kind of a cool flame in an alcohol burner, so it does take a little bit, but it'll come right off. And this tip is on one of my personal arrows, and it's been through quite a few shoots, both 3D shoots and foam animals there, and those are real tough on arrows because the foam is so hard on some brands of 3D animals. Also Excelsior bales at the local range, those are notoriously tough on tips. That stuff is just so dense. That's exciting. That's the gasket lacquer that I use. I got the flame a little bit too close to that. So, so let's see how we're doing now. I'll get my pliers. There we go. Comes right off. So that's going to be hot, so I'm going to set it over here. So that's really all there is to it. Some finishes, as we saw, are a little bit flammable. First time that happened to me with gasket lacquer, man, it just startled the hell out of me. Just keep your flame back, keep it on the tip itself and not on your wood or your finish. You won't have any problems with that. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. You can go to my blog. Just look up on Google Green Man Archery blog and it'll come right up. Or you can leave a message here on YouTube and I'll answer it here too. Thanks for watching.